And that was WrestleMania. Hey, everyone. Welcome to our review of WrestleMania 39, a live stream post-show. So if you're listening to this on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, keep that in mind. Welcome to everyone. If you haven't already done so, do me a big favor. Hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Night 2 of WrestleMania 39 is in the books. I can see a lot of people in the chat are already voicing their displeasure. Liam says, I'm done. Stayed up till 4:40 in the morning for that. Cassandra saying, I hope Cody takes S-H-I-T? I don't know. Well, hopefully if he has to go, I hope he goes. Joey Akers in the chat says, Night 2 was garbage. I'll give you guys my thoughts, and we'll run through the card eventually, but my goodness. Liam in the chat, and I quote, fuck your wise gremlin. Street chump. The DU. Nah, I'm gonna go there. Fuck. I'm not gonna go there. Fuck the tribal. Yeah, fuck Vince. Fuck Triple H. I'm done. Liam is very unhappy, as are many fans, at the finish of WrestleMania 39. And in part, I can't blame you. Granted, I was always the one who said that I think Roman Reigns is going to defeat Cody Rhodes. And I've defended that decision by saying Cody's story, to finish his story, he first needs to have that adversity, like every great babyface before him. I think that you need that if you're a babyface. You need to overcome that obstacle. You could argue, and I think a lot of people made the argument to me, and I honestly started to shift in that direction, that Cody doesn't necessarily need any other obstacle than the fact that he's about to beat Roman Reigns, or at that point he would have been about to beat Roman Reigns. That obviously did not happen. We're here where we are. Cody lost. We'll talk about it, but I will say this: Night 2 compared to Night 1, in general, it obviously I don't think is as good a show overall. The spectacle of this show, and the work rate on this show was really good at a lot of points. I thought the main event was really good overall. That Gunther triple threat match was absolutely insane. But we'll talk about overall thoughts. Guys, let me know what your thoughts are. We have a poll up on my community page, youtube.com/RealTakeWrestling. So be sure to go vote in that right now. It's a bit of a split decision between good, bad, and meh. So go vote for that if you haven't already. Hit that like button, subscribe, all that jazz. We got Hearing in H3RR Ing. Hearing? We got Hearing in the chat saying definitely didn't think Cody would lose. Rematch next year in Philly. I don't think they're going to wait that long, nor should they. If you're going to have this rematch, you should have it within the next few months. I cannot, it would be bad business for WWE to have the rematch next year in Philly. Anyway, let me just share my initial thoughts, right? Because I will get into the decision and the booking later on in this review, but if the story here is, and we all know, I think what's generally going to happen, WrestleMania Backlash, they're going to have a 6-man tag match. It's going to be Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns and the Usos. That seems to be the direction they're going in. And eventually, Cody's going to work his way back up into the championship picture, you would think. That being said, and again, I'm someone who went into this night thinking that Cody should lose, and I was very vocal about it, and I still stand by the decision if the end result is going to be Cody overcoming the obstacles and finally beating Roman Reigns. But man, this if there was a night where you were to call an audible, this might have been the night. I mean, I remember I was there in Chicago at All Out 2022 when the atmosphere was just so insane because everyone wanted to see the Acclaimed win, and they were booked to lose, but it reminded me a lot of that because I was just like, man, everything about this tells you that Cody should probably win, and you guys should probably put him over, but that's not what happened. Curvin in the chat says Cody Rhodes was not ready. Liam in the chat says, no LA Knight, no Lashley, no Gangrel, no finish to the story because Triple H has no spine, no heart, no soul, no bravery. I'm done. Very angry Liam in the chat. Thomas says, if this was going to happen, Sammy should have been the one at Elimination Chamber. And Curvin says WWE changed Asuka's character only to lose. Yeah. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Let's just get right into the card because I know you guys are going to have a lot of questions. As we go through it, put your questions, your comments in the chat. If you can and you want to make sure your question or statement gets ample time in its answer and you want to make sure it gets read out on the air, be sure to leave a super chat. That's a great way to support what we're doing here. I'm trying to fund a few trips here to shoot some cool vlogs and do some interviews. So please consider doing that. If you can't, a like is just as good. And I really do appreciate y'all for that. Let's move on. First match of the night. It was Omas taking on Brock Lesnar. Nearly a foot in difference in size between these two. I found out today that Omas has a size 18 triple E foot. Shoe size. I don't even know what that means, but damn, that sounds big. This match was exactly what it needed to be because Omas is never going to be the guy who wrestles, the most. He's never going to be the guy who wrestles like the best work rate match. He's never going to be the guy who wrestles, the most, the best style. It's going to be just a sprint, a marathon. Not a marathon. It's going to be a sprint. Like, these guys did exactly what they needed to do. They hit their big moves. Brock Lesnar. Look at this dude. The strength on this. Look at Omas's face here. Look at Omas's face. This dude is genuinely scared as hell. He's like, I did not expect to go to Suplex City. Like, my man was like, it's insane how strong Brock Lesnar is. He's 44 years old, and he's still like one of the strongest dudes in the entire company to this point. He's lifting up 400 pounds, 7'3" Omas with the greatest of ease. Hit him with the F5. 1, 2, 3. The match was quick, as it should have been, and it was fun. This is how you open WrestleMania. Not like last night when you did Austin Theory versus John Cena. This is how you open a WrestleMania. The match was barely 5 minutes. It didn't need to be a second longer. I thought Lesnar winning was the right decision. You could probably run this back, maybe, with MVP kind of doing those overtures to Bobby Lashley. This is going to set up an eventual match, a rematch between Bobby and Brock. Again, they still have to have their big rubber match because really the ending at Elimination Chamber didn't do the feud justice. So we'll see where this goes. Overall, I didn't think this match was that bad. Moving on, because I know we got other stuff to get to. We had the Women's WrestleMania Showcase Fatal 4-Way Tag Match. Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey versus Liv Morgan and, as Michael Cole would say, Raquel Rodriguez versus Natalya and Shotzi Blackheart versus Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. Much like the men's WrestleMania Showcase, this was, I think, as good a match as this was going to be. There's no stakes, really. I think they hinted again towards this being like, oh, well, if they win, they're first in line for a women's tag title match. Knowing that that was likely going to be the case, I was always like, you got to have Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler win, right? Because we still have yet to have that Ronda Rousey Becky Lynch one-on-one match. And it's been now 5 years nearly that we've been waiting for that match. I don't think we're ever really going to get that one-on-one match. This is the closest we're going to get. Like, that triple threat aside, this is the closest you're going to get to it. And the decision was the right one. We had Ronda Rousey submit Shotzi in 8 minutes to her armbar. It was the right decision. It's exactly what needed to happen. Oh my God. We got so many people in the chat right now mad. I've heard this mentioned a few times. I might as well talk about this. LA Knight. Okay, let's talk about LA Knight. So everyone really wanted LA Knight to have a match. Everyone really wanted LA Knight to have a match at WrestleMania. I know a lot of people online were begging. They were like, oh my God, well, he's going to have a match. He should have a match. Like, he's going to come out and challenge Austin. You know, he's been doing all these promos, and they've been hinting towards it. It's going to happen. And It didn't. Not even a hint, not even a promo. Bobby Lashley, for as bad as that little thing was that they did with him coming out with the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal trophy, he at least got some airtime at WrestleMania. And he got to be like, yeah, I was out there in front of allegedly 80,000 people. We'll get to that too. But, I mean, it is, when you have a talent like LA Knight, it would behoove you to at least send him out there to do some sort of promo. Like, you could have had him come out there for night 2 and do the whole Snoop Dogg thing, and it would have been arguably more entertaining. But that's not what they did. Instead, they just left him off the card entirely. And I don't know, like, this was my concern with LA Knight, right? This was always my concern. The second they put him with Bray Wyatt, and again, I love Bray Wyatt, but you put him in a feud that he can't possibly win to start off his main roster run, and then he just kind of goes off in obscurity, and this was always the worry with me. And people can say that, people told me, they told me this. They were like, well, they're going to do right by him, and he's going to be fine. He's too good to fail. And yet here we are. LA Knight is not at WrestleMania. He's been irrelevant on WWE TV for the past number of weeks. He's been a jobber. And that's okay if that's what you want him to be and if that's what his potential is. But the dude is too damn good for what they're doing with him right now. He's too damn good. And he's been too damn good for too long. And if I sound a little mad, sure, I'm annoyed. Because you have all this time. You have like 16 matches on the card. You have this men's WrestleMania showcase. Like, you couldn't find time to get LA Knight even a promo on this show? A backstage segment on this show? No? I don't know, man. At least put him out there to talk. That's the best thing you can do. He's one of the best talkers you have. It's baffling, to say the least, but also not surprising. Juice Man in the chat says, what happened to the surprises and stuff for night 2? It was so blah. Night 1, 8.5, maybe 9. Night 2 was a 5, maybe 6. I mean, I did give night 1 a 9. I think I'm going to adjust that down to an 8.5, actually, after thinking about it for a little bit. But, I mean, yeah, night 1 was an absolutely, like, memorable show. Like, the last 2 matches, the Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair match, and the Undisputed Tag Team title match, those are going to be seared in my brain forever. Some of the best wrestling ever. Kervin Abreu in the chat says, oh, we already read that one. We got Liam saying, imagine being as over as LA Knight, getting less screen time than Cinnamon Toast Crunch, KSI, Pat Mack, Shane O'Mac, Aaliyah Mysterio, a group of dancers, a Spanish announcer, Daniel Cormier, and purple kendo sticks, and more. This must be soul destroying for LA Knight. Lashley too. I mean, again, Lashley at least got more airtime than Daniel Cormier, at least, and the Spanish announcer. So he can, and arguably Shane McMahon. I think Lashley actually might have outlasted Shane McMahon as far as airtime goes. But it's a damn shame, man. I don't even know what else to say. It's a damn shame. But that's the other thing with WrestleMania, right? You have 2 nights, and the best part about having 2 nights is you can showcase more talent. And that doesn't mean you have to have 18 matches every night. Let's not do that. I think 7 matches is the sweet spot. 6, 7 matches is the sweet spot for each night. But you can fill time with backstage segments. The amount of ads that I was spammed with on Peacock, a platform I pay for, you couldn't fit like one LA Knight like backstage segment, like something like that. I guess not. They couldn't be bothered. Anyway, let's get to the match of the night. This was it. You could make an argument that this was the best match of the entire weekend. I think that Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair would definitely have something to say about that, but Intercontinental Championship, Gunther defending against Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. I don't think I've ever heard Sheamus more over than he was in this match. He did the beats that he does, and he did 27 of them on Drew McIntyre. The crowd was all on their feet. Every time Sheamus did anything, they were on his feet. You could tell that they really wanted Sheamus to win. Personally, I was thinking that they were going to have Sheamus win, and I thought that was like the most logical conclusion that could have happened. Yet we're here, and Gunther did retain after launching Sheamus into Drew McIntyre for the 1-2-3 and a power bomb. I thought, look, work rate, this was spectacular. I mean, like, you're not going to find many better matches overall than this. The finish, I mean, look, you had a decision to make here if you're WWE. Do you go and give Sheamus his WrestleMania moment and have him win the Intercontinental title in what was honestly definitely the match of the night, but could have been the match of the weekend? You could, but instead they decided to keep Gunther strong because I think they do have plans. Triple H especially has big plans for Gunther, I think. Sorry, let me just tweet out the link for this stream. Guys, by the way, if you haven't already done so, please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Boom, boom, boom. All right, sorry, guys. Also, please, if you haven't already done so, consider leaving a super chat. It's a great way to support us and make sure your question or statement gets read out on the air. All right, so back to business now. Yeah, I thought that this, like again, this match was great. I think that the only thing that could have made this match better was like maybe another table bump. But like, I mean, other than that, like, you're not gonna find better. I thought this was like 5-star match. Like, and I'm like one of those guys who, like, I give out like 5-star matches like candy. People tell me, and that's fine because I just think if it's an awesome match, it's an awesome match, right? But this was like this is the peak of the night, honestly, and it didn't get downhill from here, but it was just hard to follow this. Liam grades night 1 and night 2, says night 1 9 out of 10, night 2 3 out of 10. People are not liking this. We got Liam in the chat saying Miz had an open challenge. Here comes LA Knight. No, have Pat. Lastly comes out LA. Nope. Miz again on night 2. Nah. Have Shane. Then Shane gets injured. Surely you will get LA Knight. Nah. Have Snoop Dogg drop people's elbow. Hey. Snoop Dogg dropping the people's elbow was actually pretty damn cool. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'll talk about it in just a second, but first, let's talk about Bianca Belair versus Asuka. It was 16 minutes of really good wrestling, and I loved this. Asuka had a spectacular entrance. She had people dressed up in the mask, and then she had this really cool like blue mask with, I think, horns on it. It was awesome. It was really cool. She came off as a big deal. She came off as stars. This WrestleMania in general, the entrances are the best I've ever seen. Like, WWE went all out on the presentation. You know how we all know how Triple H is. Triple H loves good entrances. Triple H loves that kind of stuff. But you could tell, like, last night and tonight, these shows were 100%. These shows were 100% booked by Triple H and produced by Triple H, and it really shows with the amount of detail that went into these entrances and the amount of like stare-offs we got in these multi-person matches. But yeah, the Asuka versus Bianca Belair match. Bianca Belair also had a spectacular entrance. I thought like I forgot who it was. It was like this dance group from Compton. That came out and did this dance number, which was really cool to see. And Bianca was dancing with them, and they were loving it. Like, here's my thing: any entrance with like kids just having a good time, like it's awesome. That's why I loved the John Cena entrance with the Make-A-Wish kids last night. It was just so awesome. Like you just sitting to see the smile on their faces and them having fun. It brings you back to when you were a kid and you were watching wrestling, or at least it brings me back to when I was a kid and I was watching wrestling, and that was like my dream. And it's just cool to see kids living out their dream and enjoying that moment, you know. As far as the match goes, really solid match. Asuka looked strong, but not strong enough to win. Bianca hit the KOD in 16 minutes to defeat her. Okay. So there. This is hard because I love Bianca Belair. I think she is one of the best wrestlers in the world, performers, whatever you want to call it. Asuka, though, now has not won at WrestleMania. I think she's like 0-4, 0-5. Bianca's 3-0. It's hard, right? Because we're supposed to be taking her seriously as a threat. And ever since she came onto the main roster, there's one time where they made her look like a very serious threat. That was when she won the Women's Royal Rumble right off the bat when she came onto the main roster. And I was excited because I thought, oh, this is it. They're finally going to do something with Asuka, and they're going to make her feel important. And they did for 2 months. And then they jobbed her out to Charlotte Flair at Mania, who then lost the belt to Carmella just a few days later. And I'm not saying that Bianca didn't deserve to win. I think like you're in a difficult spot because you want to make Bianca out, like Bianca's like she's your star. She's your big star. And you got to keep her clean, and you got to keep her strong. I understand that, but don't book this match because Asuka. If you're gonna book Asuka in a title match at Mania, she better win at this point. It just seems like the more things change, the more they stay the same, and fans are not happy about it. I'm not happy about it because now I'm just like, okay, so another WrestleMania and another loss for Asuka. And I'm supposed to be fine with it. I don't know. This just might be a me thing. Let me know how you guys feel about it in the chat. Hit that like button if you haven't already done so. Subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. But this really did grind my gears, guys. I cannot lie. This really did grind my gears. And again, I love Bianca. I love Asuka. They're both amazing. And they had a really good match. But, man, it sucks. It sucks because I want to see Asuka do well. I want to see Asuka do well on the big stage. And it just seems like she's not going to get to that point. And it's unfortunate. We got Liam in the chat saying, oh, Triple H loves good entrances. Where was Gangrel? Or, although very unlikely, Christian. What if it was the Skull Mask? Also, should have had American Dream after America has more than one royal family. After wrestling has more than one royal family. That would have been cool if it goes, doon, doon. Wrestling has more than one royal family. Or if he got rid of, but instead of doing that tonight, he came out to American Dream. That's bad. I will never sing again. I apologize for that. But y'all know what I'm saying. That would have been cool, Liam, but, it didn't happen. Liam says, 3 title matches, 3 retains, no fun. Oh, it was a bit of fun. The Intercontinental title match and the women's match was really fun. We got Shashi in the chat saying, Omas versus Lesnar, who won? Brock Lesnar won in 5 minutes, delivering a German suplex and an F5 to the 400-pound, 7'3" Omas. It was pretty cool to see, and the fans loved it. So, yeah, awesome. Another thing that was interesting to see. So Snoop Dogg and The Miz come out, and Snoop and The Miz do their thing where they call out the WrestleMania number, and they're like, oh my gosh, guess how many people we got here, Snoop? And Snoop's like, okay, so the energy that Snoop came in with in this segment was already awesome, and what would happen next would be just insanely awesome. But, man, Miz coming out and for the second night in a row saying, oh, we have a record attendance again. And it's like, instead of like last night they lied and said 80,000, tonight they're like 81,300 and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, bro, the capacity is 66,000 people. Where did these extra 15,000 people come from? Like, I understand if you got an extra 5,000 people for employees, staff, all that stuff. Where did you get 15,000 people from, bro? Like, where are you getting these numbers from? I'm just like, come on. Cap. We all know it's cap, but is what it is. It's sports entertainment. Anyway. Next segment, you had Snoop Dogg and The Miz lie about the attendance. Snoop then says, "My bad." And Miz is like, "For what?" And he's like, No. You misunderstood me. My bad." And he points and he says, and then here comes the money plays. Shane McMahon comes out and place goes nuts. We haven't seen Shane since the Royal Rumble 2022, when apparently he had a big hand in booking that match. And Vince said, and I quote, "Shane will never get another pop as long as he's around." Well, Vince is around, but he's not in charge. And Shane definitely got a big pop in LA. He comes out, he gets on the mic, and he says, "Thank you so much. You don't know how much this means to me." And the bell rings. We get an impromptu match for the second night in a row. The only person to ever compete at two nights of WrestleMania back to back is The Miz, and he lost both times. But in this match, and this was actually the shocking thing that happened. So the match starts, and they're doing this Irish whip spot, and Miz gets Irish whipped into the ropes. Shane tries to jump over the Miz. He does, but he lands awkwardly, and you could immediately tell that there was something critically wrong. It looked like Shane at least hyperextended his ankle. He hurt his ankle pretty bad, and he just could not continue. But and it was tough to see on the fly. But the person who deserves all the credit to save this segment is Snoop Dogg. This dude, I don't think there's ever been a moment where a celebrity's had to single-handedly, save a segment like that. But without missing a beat, Shane goes down in the middle of this match. Without missing a beat, Snoop Dogg just comes in and says, "Oh, you're having a match with me." And he cuts this, and he cuts like a promo on The Miz. Then he just batters him. And he hits the people's elbow with the greatest of ease. One of the coolest people's elbow I've ever seen. And it was so smooth, so crisp, and it was great. And I think it actually would have been better than if Shane had done his thing. Honestly, this was better. Obviously, Shane, no one wants to see Shane McMahon get injured, but cool moment. I think it's gonna go down in history as probably the best impromptu spot in wrestling history, just because of how Snoop did this. But man, I mean, and the elevation he got on this people's elbow, he jumped high. And this is a dude who's already high as it is, so love to see it. Liam says, "Snoop was scared to bounce on the rope. Did you see the guy trying to bounce?" I mean, yeah, but he did a thing, man. This segment could have gone off the rails very easily, but because of Snoop Dogg and how professional he was in the moment, it didn't. And you got to give him kudos for that. Next matchup, you had the Hell in the Cell, if I may say this. So refreshing. So refreshing to see the old Hell in a Cell back, the gray, silver, whatever color it is. It's great to see that, because I hated that red Hell in a Cell. It was hard to see through. It really made the match more difficult to see. And I think the Hell in a Cell is supposed to be a structure that doesn't overpower you, but you know what I'm saying? It's not supposed to be that. It's supposed to be you're locked in. There's no way out. And it's supposed to look like a cage. That looked like a toy, like a giant toy. I'm glad that they got this, but these two went out there. Finn Balor and Edge went out there, had a good match. Of course, as Liam says, there was no Gangrel. It was reported that Gangrel was going to be at WrestleMania and play a part in Edge's entrance. That did not happen. The only related thing that I noticed was Edge had the Brood written on his tights, I think. That was it. And Corey Graves gave a shout out to the Brood as well. Edge also came out to Slayer, which was insane. But these two went out there, had a good match. It was interesting because so instead of the Hell in a Cell being a different color, the weapons in this match were a different color. There was a red steel chair, and there was a purple kendo stick and a purple steel chair. I mean, look, if I had to choose between the cell being a color or the weapons, give me the weapons every day. It's not even close. I hated the red Hell in a Cell, but I liked what they did here. My spot of the night was Finn Balor or my spot of this match, I should say, was Finn Balor going for a coup de grace on Edge on a table, and then looking down, looking up, and climbing the cage. He climbed the cell, went towards like the middle section of the cell, jumped off, and did a coup de grace through the table. Edge, of course, moved out of the way, so Finn just ended up putting his feet through the table. I just thought it was a cool spot, and it's an interesting thing that you haven't seen from a Hell in a Cell match. Someone jumped from inside the cell like that through a table. So I thought that was dope. Liam in the chat, I think, disagrees with me. He says, nah, Omer. Edge had the photo of the Brood on his jacket with Edge and Gangrel and Christian showing very clearly. Oh, I did not see that. So I'll go back and look at it, but I'm sure that looked cool. But ending sequence of the match, Finn Balor was busted open. Edge goes for a spear, couldn't finish the job, and then he's like, what the hell do I have to do to finish this dude off? Takes a steel chair, puts Finn Balor's head on it, takes another steel chair, concerto, finishes the job. 1, 2, 3. They talk to each other right after the match too, and you could tell like there's a lot of respect between these two. A very fun Hell in a Cell match. 18 minutes. It could have gone a little longer, but I think it was just about as long as it needed to be. Like, is this an all-time Hell in a Cell match? No, but it didn't need to be. I liked it though. And yeah, fun time. This, and I'm glad to see this story, like the Judgment Day story with Edge finally be over, and they can all move on from this because it was dragged out. It's been a year, and I get that, but it's been dragged out a bit. Whew. Ran through that card quickly, didn't I? It's only 30 minutes in. Anyway. And now, the main event of WrestleMania Night 2 for the undisputed WWE Universal Heavyweight Championship. First, the challenger from West Bubbletuck, Georgia, weighing in at 200 and whatever pounds, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, who came out to all the pyro, the loudest whoa you'll ever hear, and just like, if there was ever like, I think I tweeted out like, this is surreal when I was watching Cody's entrance. It was surreal because I'm still like, Cody's been in WWE for a year now, and we should be used to it, but really, like, he's only been around WWE for like accumulatively like 4 or 5 months, right? Because he got injured almost immediately after he debuted. Like 2 months into his run in WWE, or his return, he got injured. He was gone till the Rumble, and then he finally made his return. So he's really only been around for 5 months in our conscience in WWE. And this moment really set in, man. It was like, he's a WWE guy. Like it really set in, because I was like, man, like all this time I still felt like I was watching AEW Cody Rhodes or indie Cody Rhodes. No, this is Cody. This is WWE Cody, and he's great. It's great. He comes out to all this pyro. He goes over, hugs his wife, hugs his mom, and has this great moment with his daughter Liberty, and it was great. Cody's doing he's going all in, pardon the pun, for the white meat babyface thing, and it was really cool. And then Cody had this belt, this weight belt, and this was the talk of wrestling Twitter for a while. Cody tweeted out this picture of this weight belt he had, and it basically on it he had written down every single promotion that he had worked with throughout his entire career, including AEW, including ROH, hell, including What Culture Pro Wrestling, or which is nuts. And he takes the belt, this belt, and he gave it to he takes the belt and he gives it to Brody Jr., Brody Lee's son. Brody Jr. was in the front row. And again, like, for those of you who don't know, Brody Lee was very close with Cody. Brody Lee Jr., like, when Brody's family had to tell Brody Lee Jr. about his father and what was going to happen. Cody was one of the people that they brought to help break that news. So he's a very close connection to the Huber family. He's a very close connection to -1. And, just getting to see -1 like have his moment too at WrestleMania, that's cool. And yeah, I mean, like, it's just awesome. I think everyone is just was generally really happy for Cody. But he goes in, he's like hot as hell. The fans are cheering. And at this point, I'm thinking maybe I've made a mistake and maybe Cody should win this match. But then the undisputed WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion, the head of the table, the tribal chief, Roman Reigns comes out. He's over. Everyone acknowledged him. He's over. Loud reaction, deafening reaction for Roman Reigns. If this is not a vindication of everything that Roman Reigns has ever tried to accomplish in his career, like, this is it. Like, this felt like a big match feel because you had two of the most over people in professional wrestling as a whole up against each other. Roman Reigns is the best heel, and he's also the most over person in general in wrestling. It's just awesome to see. Like, and I was ready. I was ready for this main event match. Match starts. They stare down and immediately go into just having like just an epic match. Like, this was not like work rate wise, it was a good match. But this was more of a wrestling epic than it was, a match of like technical prowess, and it was exactly what it needed to be. So Cody eventually hit him with a crossroads. Roman kicks out. Roman hit Cody with a few spears in this match, and Cody just kept kicking out. They do a spot where Roman has Cody locked in a guillotine. They have him locked in a guillotine. Cody powers out of it. He powers out of it, but in the process, the referee gets knocked down. So the ref gets knocked down. This opens the door for the Usos to come out and help beat down Cody. They deliver the 1D on Cody. They try to wake up Roman Reigns, but then to the rescue comes Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And look, as bad as the ending was, the moment of Sami Zayn looking across the ring to Roman Reigns and delivering a haluva kick in the main event of WrestleMania. For me, as a fan of Sami Zayn, as a fan of this feud, as a fan of professional wrestling, this moment trumped everything. This is, I understand. Like, look, we're going to talk about the bad. We will talk about the bad because you can make an argument what happened was really bad. But this moment for me, like, if there's anything to take away positive about this, it is this. Sammy got that moment. It was awesome. I loved it. Now let's talk about the bad stuff. All right. So in the midst of all this, Cody goes for a cover. The ref gets back up. 1-2. Roman kicks out at 2.99 ad infinitum. And then as Cody goes to deliver the crossroads, he delivers it once. He rolls through, delivers it twice. He rolls through to deliver it thrice. But Paul Heyman comes up to the apron, distracting the ref, which allows for a hooded Solo Sikoa, who did in fact accompany Roman Reigns down to the ring, but was kicked out earlier on in the match. Solo Sikoa comes in, delivers a Samoan spike to Cody Rhodes, which allows for Roman Reigns to hit the spear 1, 2, 3, and still your WWE undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion of the world, contradiction, Roman Reigns. Okay. Now that I've said all of that, let me read some of your chats and then we can really talk about this. By the way, guys, if you're just joining us, first of all, welcome. Secondly, if you haven't already done so, do me a big time favor. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Let's get to some of your chats here. We got Fate in the chat saying, I'll see you all at SummerSlam 2024. Roman versus Lesnar. Every time I hear Roman versus Lesnar, my mind immediately goes to the sound that immediately plays is the Austin versus Rock promo from X7, the Limp Bizkit song. You think you're special, you do, because that's like their fight forever. If there's an epitome of fight forever, it's that feud. Fate also says they hype him up and they advertise him for a whole year to lose. LMAO. Daniel in the chat says WWE and Triple H screwed Cody. Wow, who can beat Roman at this point? Liam in all caps says Solo took the belt off Junior. Ref gave it back. Then Roman took it. Hopefully he got it back. Yeah, he did steal the belt off Junior. I'm sure he got the belt back. I'm sure -1 got the belt back. Cricket Lover in the chat says, now WWE is unpredictable. We all thought Cody is going to win, but Roman retained. That is true. A lot of people did think that Cody was going to win, but I didn't. I said, hey, man, Roman's going to win. Lol. Ken Lord in the chat said, that ending sucked. Liam says, why so? Why do I feel the way WWE will end Roman Reigns is by having everyone who Roman Reigns beat come out, hit their finisher, and to collectively beat Roman Reigns. Well, I think the odds of everybody coming out, it would be unlikely because you have people like Bryan Danielson and Cesaro who are in other companies. But I think you could do something like that would be cool. I think like you could have done it with Sammy here and it would have been cool. Liam in the chat says, Raw tomorrow. Cody sad in the ring. A returning Randy comes out to console him. RKO. Oh my God. I was really hoping him not winning the title would avoid the Randy feud. But Liam, I think that's going to happen. Oh no, those Randy Orton promos are going to be back, aren't they? He's going to open Raw and he's going to... Hold up. Give me 1 second. Randy's going to open Raw. He's going to open Raw and be like, I did what I did to Cody Rhodes because I am the legend killer. He's going to be this boring ass 20-minute long opening Raw Randy Orton promos. I love Randy Orton, but my goodness, I cannot stand like his 20-minute long promos. If Randy Orton just comes out and just like doesn't say anything and just beats up Cody Rhodes for like weeks on end, that's fine. But God forbid that man actually like cut promos. I don't want to see that. Liam in the chat says, so Omer, who do you think will dethrone Roman? I still think it's going to be Cody. I still think Cody Rhodes should be the one to dethrone Roman Reigns. And here's why. Cody's story the entire time had been lacking one thing, and that was adversity. That was losing. Because remember, ever since Cody has come in, he's been winning. He's won every single match. He's gone toe-to-toe with everybody they put in front of him, and he's won. So losing at WrestleMania, to me, adds adversity. It adds another layer. It adds that hurdle that Cody needs to get over to be the best babyface in the world. That's what he needs. And I understand that people don't like it. And I sympathize with that. I really do. Because if you saw how over Cody was in the match, if you saw how over Cody was and you listened to that crowd and you felt the moment, I don't blame you. And honestly, there was a moment where I was just like, just have him win. Just have him win. Like it is, if there was ever a time to call an audible, this might be it. Because he was just so over. This would have been probably one of the best moments in WrestleMania history had you had him win. They didn't. But I think it can pay off in the future in a monumental way if you do it right. And I think one of the ways to do it right would be by having it happen in Madison Square Garden. You can have it be at a big show like a pay-per-view, but it would be cool if they had it at maybe even a SmackDown in Madison Square Garden. Put it on free TV. I'm serious. Put it on free TV. Make it commercial free. Make it sponsored by freaking Cinnamon Toast Crunch or whoever. But have it happen and have it mean something and have it be a callback to Cody's His dad. Have it be a callback to Dusty. When Dusty won the WWF belt in Madison Square Garden. You can do it, and it can mean something, and it can kind of replace this moment. That being said, feeling the moment, like, when it happened, even I, a person who said that Cody should lose, was like, yeah, man, like, maybe you shouldn't have that happen, but I still think it should be Cody. If not Cody, Sami Zayn. Or, sorry. I apologize. Well, Sami Zayn's probably third on my list at this point, but if not Cody, it should be Jey Uso. If you're not going to do it with Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso should be the one to take the belt off of Roman. Because from a storyline perspective, that makes sense. And it would finish off Jay's story. It would finish off the Bloodline story. And it would make it mean something. Because remember, Jey Uso went toe-to-toe with Roman in Hell in a Cell in 2020. The only reason that Jey lost that match was because of... the only reason Jey lost that match was because Roman basically threatened to choke the life out of his brother Jimmy, and Jey only stopped the match because, or he only quit the match because it was detrimental to Jimmy. So, I mean, yeah, I think that Jey Uso should be in line for a title match. He might not be, but we'll see. But let me know who you guys think is going to win. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you haven't already done so. Liam in the chat says, so Randy comes out to console Cody. They have a heartfelt talk in a moment. They share a hug. And during the hug, Orton says, hold up. Cody, I don't care what happened. You're a legend. Ooh, okay. If that's all he says, I'm down for it. Because that's actually a pretty cool moment. And then he kills yeah, that's actually pretty cool. I'd like that. But we'll see. I mean, as far as where we go from here, like I said, I think the tag team match is definitely what's in the works next. They're probably going to do the six-man tag match at Backlash. Roman and the Usos versus Sammy, Kevin, and Cody. And that might be where you have Jey Uso finally turn on the Bloodline. Like, that might be it. And you could have, and look, say what you want, that crowd in Puerto Rico is going to be electric, because this is a town, this is an entire state that has been, well, not officially a state, but this is a place that's been starved of meaningful television wrestling for a very long time. And I'm glad they're going to get this big pay-per-view. I'm glad that Bad Bunny's going to be there to make it feel even bigger, and he's going to be a hometown guy there. So I think Backlash has the feelings of a big pay-per-view, and that six-man is probably what you got to do at the big show. But yeah, man, WrestleMania Night 2, WrestleMania 39 in general, in the book, in the pocket, out of sight, as the boys over at OSW would say. If I had to rate tonight, I would definitely, it's a step down. It's a step down from last night for sure. I would still give this show probably again, ballpark. I would probably lean towards a 7. And last night I think I've adjusted to an 8.5. So overall, WrestleMania 39, both nights. Let's just average it out to an 8 out of 10. I think this is going to go down as a top 10 WrestleMania, top 10-ish WrestleMania of all time. It's not a top 5, I don't think. It had some great moments. I think it had probably one of my favorite moments in wrestling history, where Sammy and Kevin won. But man, Liam in the chat says 7. I mean, look, again, I was not fucking 7. Yeah, 7. Look, again, I was expecting Cody to lose. I kind of felt like he needed to lose. I think for his story, he probably needed to lose. And I knew that going in. I expected that going in. So yes, I think a 7. Now that I think about it, though, maybe a 6.5, because some of these matches were not that great. I'm looking at you, basically both the showcase match. I mean, the showcase matches were fine, I guess, but like, it weren't anything spectacular. Even like Brock and Omas, it was exactly what it needed to be, but was it like spectacular? Was it must see? No. So yeah, 6.5, 7. Liam says 7 minus 4, maybe. Jeez, Liam did not like this ending. But hey, that's WrestleMania, baby. Guys, let me know what you guys thought about the ending of this pay-per-view. What did you think about WrestleMania 39 as a whole? I think it was a very solid WrestleMania. Night 1, I think, was far superior than Night 2. And this is a bit of a trend that we're seeing. I think we've seen this trend for the past 3 years now. Because look at WrestleMania 37 when they really started doing these in front of fans. The both nights of WrestleMania. Night 1, you had the really nice happy ending of Bianca Belair defeating Sasha Banks. And overall, people thought that night was way better than Night 2. And you saw that again last year. I think this year, Night 1 vastly better than Night 2. This just might be a thing where Night 1 is just hard to overcome because it's such a good night. It's just going to be difficult. And but someone's going to do it eventually. Eventually, there's going to be a bad Night 1 of WrestleMania, and then someone on Night 2 is just going to blow everyone out of the water, and it's going to be cool. But we'll see. Liam says the male showcase was fun. I thought the ending of the women's showcase, though, was more important because we got that visual of Ronda saying, "I want the belt." And again, I'm probably the only person in the world who still wants to see Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch. But if this is how we get it, this is how we get it. Let me know what you guys thought, though, about WrestleMania Night 2, WrestleMania as a whole. Guys, it's been a fun weekend. We've gone live multiple times. I've put out a lot of videos. By the way, for those of you who don't know, WWE is apparently going to sell. This is happening, by the way. This is happening. So I'm gonna touch on this right before we end the stream, just so you're all aware. But I will put the link for all the details in the chat. But WWE is going to sell, it looks like, to Endeavor. Endeavor is the parent company for UFC. I just put the link for the video that outlines everything in the chat. So please go check that out if you haven't already done so. According to CNBC, the sale could be announced tomorrow, as soon as tomorrow. So buckle up. It's WWE's controlling the narrative. Liam says sell. Yeah, sell. CNBC reported that Endeavor, which is the parent company of UFC, are the front runners. I have it all laid out in that link that I put in the chat. So if you guys want to go check that out, go check that video out. Hit that like button on the video too, so more people see it. Yeah, it's a big day for wrestling if it does happen. It sounds like it's going to be announced tomorrow. But yeah, big time news, big time fights, big time WrestleMania. We loved it. Last chat, Liam says, Night 1 gets a 9 out of 10. Only possible improvements were a classic Ray mask and LA Knight. Yeah, I mean, look, I even thought the Ray versus Dom match for me kind of underwhelmed a bit, but maybe that's because I was like on a live stream during it. But usually I enjoy those matches a lot more. But yeah, I mean, look, overall it was a good WrestleMania. Way better than if Vince McMahon had booked it, but is what it is. We got Jermaine in the chat saying, guess I was wrong about Cody match, but I ain't mad. Yeah, I mean, look, I understand people being pissed off. I totally do, because Cody's over. You want to see him win. It makes a lot of sense. I get it. I just kind of knew going into this probably not the direction WWE were going in. But overall, I thought it was an epic match. Liam says that Ray belt spot should have earned a DQ. Oh no, Liam, don't peel back the layers. Don't peel back the layers. Wrestling won't make sense if you do that, my friend. Anyway, Liam, you have been a pro on all of these streams. I really appreciate you, bro. You're always great. Oh, I'm so sorry. I had some chats here that I didn't read from the beginning. Oh my God, we got Cincy. Cincy made an appearance before the show. He probably fell asleep. He says, and having Demon Balor lose makes zero sense, because if he's going to keep losing and losing and losing, what's even the point of him existing anymore? I mean, look, it's a great point. Why do you have the Demon if the Demon keeps losing? Great point there by Cincy. Cincy, love to see you as always, my friend. We got Thomas Scott saying, Asuka going off on WWE on Twitter. Is she really? Uh-oh, this might be some news here. Let's see. Asuka, did she go off on WWE on Twitter? Let's see. Okay, here we go. Oh, dear God. Asuka just tweeted out, I might as well go back to Japan, but I bet a lot of you guys, my friends, will miss me when I leave WWE. Question mark? Now I need the power of anger. Let's bring chaos to the boring women's division with me. Let's bring chaos to the women's division. Let's bring chaos to WWE. I think this is more so a... I understand. Okay, yeah, this is an interesting tweet. I think she is kind of... She's definitely setting up something for the months to come. She's definitely setting up something for the months to come, like in WWE. Like, she's just being like, okay, word, y'all gonna have me lose? I'm gonna rain terror on the women's division. I think that's what she's trying to say. I think she's kind of, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, too sweet, like a little bit. But I think she's trolling a little bit there. But that is interesting. Jermaine in the chat says Dom just isn't that good of a wrestler, but he did good for that match. That is true. That is true. We got more chats coming in. I'll just keep on reading them. It's fine. Liam says, Cincy? Where was Cincy? Look at Bobby Lashley's Twitter too. He ain't happy. Oh God. Is this a gimmick where everyone who's unhappy with not getting on the WrestleMania card is just gonna complain? All right, let's see. So Bobby Lashley on Twitter just said, not what I had in mind for WrestleMania, but if no one wants to step up, okay, I will watch this video later. Kervin says, The Miz made history at WrestleMania 39 back-to-back matches. Absolutely he did. Absolutely he did. The Miz is a workhorse, baby. He's a workhorse. Liam in the chat says, Asuka versus Steph McMahon at Backlash? I don't think that's going to happen. I think Stephanie has nothing to do with the company right now. Asuka is 0-5 in WrestleMania. Yeah, we talked about that earlier, and I said, man, like, for someone who's a fan of Asuka, it does kind of piss you off. Every time she gets a chance at a big moment, she just doesn't come through, and it's not even like they're telling a good story with it. Liam says, Lashley liked a bunch of tweets. Oh, I did see this. Yeah. He started liking a bunch of tweets about him not having a match. I think, yeah, he isn't doing anything. Shame on WWE. Shame on Triple H. Yeah, he's liking all these tweets about him being done dirty. As he should, man. As he should. He's the almighty Bobby Lashley. We got No Lara in the chat saying they sacrificed Cody for Roman's 1,000 championship reign. And look, the 1,000 days is important. Like, People can crap on it, but for WWE, that's important. Saying that Roman Reigns was champion for over 1,000 days this is the closest you're ever going to get to it. Like, I don't see anyone else right now in the modern era having a 1,000-day title reign anywhere. We got Jermaine saying, why no Jay White appearance? Maybe he might be on Raw. I mean, apparently WWE said like they feel like they're. Apparently, there were some reports that said that they feel like they have a shot to get him. I think they might wait on that a little bit, though. We got Liam says, Demon Balor last one in 2018. That's a damn shame. That's a damn shame. No Lara in the chat says, Shane made a WrestleMania history. First in his family to blow out his leg at the greatest show of them all. Hey, man, he's not the first McMahon to blow out his legs, though, on WWE TV. Remember, 2005 Royal Rumble, Vince McMahon angrily running to the ring blew out both of his quads. Insane moment in wrestling history. Kerwin says, Rhea Ripley is the only member of Judgment Day to get that W. Yeah. I mean, look, if there was one member of Judgment Day who deserved to get a win here at WrestleMania, it was her. It was definitely her. All right, guys, it is nearly 1 a.m. here on the East Coast. Liam, I know it's like almost 5 a.m. wherever the hell you are. Everyone, we'll touch base about this in future videos, future streams. We'll try to do another stream tomorrow, probably. If you haven't already done so, please do me a big favor, guys. hit that like button. What it does is it helps people see the video. It helps people see the stream afterwards and helps the channel grow. Please also, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video or stream is released. And yeah, just check us out. I have a lot of cool stuff planned. We're changing around some of the content we do on the channel. And I don't know. I'm excited for it. I hope you guys are as well. Liam, Jermaine, Kervin, No, Thomas, everyone who's joined in over the past few days. I really appreciate y'all's support. It's been a lot of fun. More fun to come, though, because wrestling doesn't have an off-season. We're 24/7, baby, with this wrestling stuff because WWE might be for sale. We're going to be talking about it. Go check that video out in the archives. Also got another video about Pat McAfee's return. Got so much stuff. We got 4 hours stream of WrestleMania yesterday. You want to see me mark out on that stream and you're bored, go check that out. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Go over to youtube.com/Real Take Wrestling if you're listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Also, remember to leave a 5-star review. See you later, guys. Until next time, be happy, be healthy, and as always, keep it real. Boom.